So, as Stephanie mentioned, I am head of sales at Mangomint. This is my glamour shot. I no longer have that hair. It's a sad, sad time. I'm no longer blonde. But I am here because one of the things that I've become really passionate about in my career is not only the success of salon and spa professionals, but also what it takes to have the type of business that runs smooth. So, in that quick bio slide I had up, you may have seen, I am Marchelle. I'm the head of sales at Mangomint, but I also am a salon professional. So, I'm a cosmetologist myself. I spent many years behind the chair as a hair cutter, a colorist, a extension specialist, and a struggling technician. So I opened my salon in 2013, and since then grew it, sold it, and moved into my role at Mangomint. And one of the biggest things that I've learned since being at Mangomint is there are thousands of salon and spa professionals, owners, managers, assistants, students that are constantly just kind of looking at the industry from a very narrow viewpoint. And I don't say that as a negative thing. I just say that to say that events like this are so, so important and so precious to this industry. So, what I'd like to say to that is thank you to all of you for actually taking time out of your busy life, your busy schedule, and everything that you have to do just to stay afloat to be here and absorb this information. My goal today is to share with you some of the things that I have learned after demoing Mangomint with thousands of salon owners. I spent 10 years in an education and coaching role previous to working with Mangomint. And so I just want to bring kind of some of those snippets today and really deliver them to you in a specific package, which that is memberships. This is just one little piece of your business that can create stability. And I think based on what you're going to be collecting over the past 2 days and the following couple of days, you're really going to be able to identify some of the things that you want to change within your own business. So in order to get the most out of our time, I would love if you would just start dropping like those stream of consciousness thoughts that you want to take away, whether it's from what I share today in membership specifically, or just in general, the type of change that you're looking to see in your business. So if you came into this, let me just ask this. How many of you, drop into the comments, have some sort of subscription? So you've got a Shopify, a Spotify subscription. You've got a gym subscription. I'd be curious, what are those subscriptions that off the top of your head are coming out of your bank on a monthly basis? It's just rolling. You have to go in there and go, okay, I'm not watching Hulu. I'm not watching Netflix. I'm curious, how many of you have those? And I'd be even more curious to find out how many of you do not have any type of recurring subscription. So let's see those unicorns in there.
Yeah,
so go ahead and drop
I'm curious too.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that for me personally. I've got Netflix, I've got Amazon Prime, I have Apple TV. I have, in Canada, we have something called Crave. So I've got Crave. I don't have a gym membership. Trying to think of some of the other ones. You have 2 gym memberships?
Well, technically, I've got the Peloton membership, and then I've got, I finally found like a Pilates that I like, and then I tried the free version. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do the monthly thing. So yeah, I mean, off the top of your head, I think maybe we should have a competition to see who has the most. Canva, Netflix, Beauty Directors Club.
I didn't even think about things for my business. Like for my business, I have like my number one cost in my business is like software subscription. So I absolutely understand that. Sheila says Disney Plus for my kids.
I need to remember to cancel that. Thank you, Sheila. Boba Fett is over, so my son is over.
I have Disney Plus too. I didn't even think about that. So
the
Hulu,
list goes on.
Yeah, Hulu, Disney Plus, Netflix, Amazon Prime. My parents, for example, have what's it called? That razor thing, Dollar Shave Club.
Dollar Shave Club. We've got that at our house as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just, Anna says, I have subscriptions even though I don't like them, but you like them enough to keep them.
That's a great point you bring up, even though I don't like them. And so what what I want to zero in on that specific point is for the majority, a lot of us are dropping into this chat. We've got subscriptions. And why do subscriptions work for the business model? But B, today we're going to take a look at how we can really add value and create value and make them work. So when your customer sees that draft come out of their bank every month, they feel good. They feel excited. They know what that means for them and their self-care and their time committed to you. So memberships in its simplest form create predictable monthly revenue. That's what they do. That's why Netflix has that model. That's why all of those drafts coming out of your bank have that model. Because the more loyal, faithful consumers that have that subscription with them, they can create, not only better their business does, but the more predictable revenue they have. So we're going to share today what we can do to create that for you. So one of the challenges that I had as a salon owner was constantly struggling with the idea of not only managing the KPIs for my own staff, but looking at it from the point of view of forecasting. So we've got all these leading indicators. We're tracking productivity, we're tracking pre-booking, all of these different things. We're trying to build loyal and faithful, processes and create those customers that want to come back to us. But one of the biggest things that was missing is, how do I know that every single month we're going to hit this metric to cover all of the overhead that it takes to run a business, but also to ensure that we are growing? So what I want to talk about today is how one specific business generated $30,000 a month in recurring revenue. Now, $30,000 a month in recurring revenue for many businesses is nothing. For other businesses, it's huge. And so I think what's really important today in this case study we're going to go into is to actually zero in on why this number is important for this business. So drop into the comments, how many of you would be stoked to just know every single month, $30,000 a month is going to hit your bank account? Now, if that doesn't make you excited,
I mean,
okay.
Put a yes in the comments if you're like, I would absolutely love that. I personally would be thrilled with that. My goal in my business now is to have that recurring revenue as I'm like settling down, having kids. I want to be able to have some predictability in my business, as opposed to like, in the first start of your business, you're not really sure how everything's going at this point. I think we all want stability.
Sure. And, I have gone through this with my own staff when I had my salon, is like, some people don't thrive on the goal of having a set number. They thrive on that high of a busy month. And that low is what motivates them to get back to that high. So even with people like that, we're going to show where that flux happens with memberships and how you're still going to have those variabilities, but we're going to talk about how to create a really solid baseline for your business. So in this particular case study, a business that is using Mangomint, so I may be a little biased towards them, but what's really fantastic about this particular business is they created this in the midst of coming out of the pandemic. This business opened their membership platform they opened their business in March of 2020. So they basically effectively opened and closed. Then they came on right when Mangomint launched their business or their membership platform, and they've taken it directly to $30,000 a month in recurring revenue. So we're just going to go high level, the most important pieces of a membership, because I want to get you that value up front. The first and foremost, most important thing is, let me ask you this. If you were to pick an ice cream, would you pick chocolate or vanilla? Drop it in the comments. If you're waking up in the morning and you are a meat eater, is it bacon or sausage? Drop it in the comments. The most important thing we can do in memberships is give them options. So it's chocolate or vanilla, bacon or sausage. It's, coffee black or coffee with cream. You're giving them the 60-minute option in this case, or the 90-minute option.
I'm vanilla and bacon, in case anyone was wondering.
Well, actually, that depends. I'm vanilla with olive oil and salt, or I'm chocolate if it comes to a milkshake. So
wow, a little bit spoiled there. I love that.
But hey, these are the perks. We're going to get into those. So we're going to give them options. That's number one most important thing. The reason here, and two, I think is really solid, really easy to do. 3 is about the max you want to have in terms of different types of memberships. especially if you start going beyond that, things get really diluted really fast. So keep it stupid simple, or keep it simple stupid, depending on if I'm talking to myself or if I'm talking to you. Um, they give them the option. So they've got the $125 for the 60 minutes or the $183 for the 90 minutes. There's perks involved here. Now, how many of you have looked at different types of software, have looked at your business, thought about how you're going to market, and you decide to create this fantastic loyalty program? Drop it in the comments if you've got a loyalty program. So, loyalty programs, in its essence, the idea is to create raving fans of your business that want to return to you. The problem I personally, and again, this is a personal problem that I have with loyalty programs, is I don't know how many points I have. I don't actually care. A loyalty program is something that I expect you, the salon owner, to manage for me. So when I walk up to the counter at Sephora and they say, hey, do you want to use your points towards this dinky little thing or this little dinky thing? Or it's your birthday and you're going to get extra things. I'm like, yeah, sure. But the reality is, those things are not customized to me, nor are they things that I chose. They're just a thing that you created, you managed for me, that we're expecting to create loyalty. So I want to really highlight here that within a membership, not only do they get to pick, but then you can layer in these additional perks that give them the things that make them a loyal, raving fan of your business. So my personal opinion is a membership program should replace any points-based loyalty program. To me, points-based loyalty are back in 2004, and I'm personally done with them. If you ask me if I want to join your loyalty program, the answer is no. However, that said, if you've got one and it's working for you, stick with it, rock it, have fun with it. Back to memberships, give them some perks. So this particular business, they're giving anyone who joins a membership 10% off additional services, 10% off merchandise. I will zero in on this. You can't necessarily see it because of the size of this, but they're giving 10% off their own branded merchandise, just to be very clear. Also, VIP access to events. So, any questions, anything coming up in the comments so far on, how simple this is? Give them two options, give them some perks. Pretty straightforward, right?
I love that. I want to kind of get a feeling for who's watching. So far, Marchelle's she's talking about a facial spa, and they did this. They're doing $30,000 a month with their memberships. I'd be curious to know, for everyone who's watching, jump in the comments maybe and tell us what kind of membership you would think about doing for your business. I'm really curious to see. Marchelle might have some other ideas and examples later on. Are you thinking maybe facials, blow dries, nails, spray tans, something else? I'd love to see that. And of course, if you've got questions throughout, please
drop it in there, even if it's a service that you're like, how can I? I love what Anna, what you mentioned. Since my clientele is monthly, only once a month, only a few or twice a month, how can I do a monthly subscription versus a package for 6 months? So we'll definitely touch on that, but I'd love to hear what are the services that you imagine you would have in this type of environment, in a membership or recurring environment.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll take it right there. The most important thing is to keep it really simple. So I mentioned give them two options. A lot of you are bacon, some of you are sausage. The idea here is that you keep it really simple. So we create the service that's included. We get their card on file. They're charged every month on the day they become a member. I specifically mention this because, again, we're looking at the case study itself. Oftentimes, if you're like me, bit type A, a little bit organized, you want to see the draft on the 1st or the 15th. But let me tell you right now, you will make it easier on yourself if you just let somebody start a membership on the 27th and then it bills every month on the 27th. Each month when it bills, they receive their service benefit. They then can either take unused services and roll them over or not. That's up to you and how your business functions. Now, if we're talking purely profitability, Do we want these services to roll over? No, this isn't a cell phone plan. Well, actually, I don't even think cell phone plans roll over anymore, do they? I think you just have the minutes. You're just unlimited now. But that said, I personally, maybe for a 2 month period, a 3 month period, but in general, we have to keep in mind what the goal is here. And that is to support your customers in the thing that's going to either make their hair, their skin, their eyebrows look best, and to really make sure that you have a profitable business. So keep it simple. Charge the card on every month, set it up on something that's auto recurring. Each month they receive their service benefit and whatever those perks are. And then the most important thing you need to do once you've created this plan is market it. Now, this is a huge conversation, marketing in itself. And the knowledge is in the room. You all have Stephanie as a resource to you. You have this week as a resource to you. The marketing is absolutely something that's going to matter. But I want to really zero in on this because oftentimes I will hear salon owners say, how do I market this? Or I want to sell this on my website. Well, let me ask you this. How many of your current customers that currently return to you, think about this in your head and maybe drop it into the chat. Off the top of your head, how many of your current customers could you see saying, hey, I'm already getting a monthly facial. I might as well become a member to get the rest of the perks. So maybe it's, Susie, Sandy, Sharon, I don't know. Drop it in the chat. How many off the top of your head do you already know this person would for sure become a member of whatever service you could imagine being in a membership? Now, I want you to think about this. When you yourself go to get a service from somebody, I feel like if you're in this industry, drop a comment if you tend to be the person who does either the most amount of research, or you're looking for a specific product, or how many of you are just the type of person that goes to your friend down the street when they can squeeze you in for a facial, or you're going to wait for the person in the suite next to you to get a haircut in between their clients. So what I'm saying is it's pretty unlikely that somebody is just going to randomly find you on the internet and become a member. That's just the reality. So while we do want to market it, we want to be really, really careful about how we market it and how we build this thing up. So first, when you build your membership, you need to inform your current clientele. And we're going to tack back to this, so don't forget how important this is. Your first members should always be current clients. Layer on top of that, your email list. Stephanie, do you have anybody talking about email list or like tapping into email marketing this week?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So on Friday, Shonda is going to come on to talk about email marketing, and it's touched a lot of the topics that we've talked about so far. So I'm glad that you're talking about email too, because it's so important.
Yes, I think this is huge. It's got to be meaningful. Again, you've already built the juicy membership. Now you need to share it. And so I want you to be already put into your head, mark down that Friday webinar with Shonda on email marketing. You're not going to want to miss that because you're going to want to be thinking about recurring revenue when you go into that. Now, the final way is those targeted ads. Now, I want this to stick with you. Those targeted ads, the goal of those ads should not be for somebody to sign up for a membership who has never seen you. The goal of those targeted ads should be brand awareness and the benefits of what a monthly facial can do. The goal should be to get them in for one visit with you, to have that facial, to have that blowout, to have, your nails done. And then, only then, should you inform them and bring them into that membership once you've built that trust. So I'll tack back to that. Any questions so far that you're seeing pop up?
I don't think any questions so far, but if you guys have questions about what Marchelle has gone through so far, please do ask them, and we'll do them during the Q&A at the end. But I'm loving this so far.
Fun. So real numbers here. We build it. We put it together, we set the machine in place, we market it, and then it's time to track the revenue. So it really is that simple. Build it, make it simple, give them perks, convert your current customers, and then watch that revenue grow. So this business in 2 years went from $0 in recurring revenue to $30,000 a month. And I will tell you, I checked recently, they only had one unpaid member. Is that good or is that great? Because I think that's pretty fantastic.
That is crazy. So like
It's
when you
crazy.
say unpaid member, like that's someone who like their credit card didn't go through, but everyone else just, is that
Every
what you
single
mean?
other one is paid. Yes.
That's
Now,
awesome.
again, this is because they tapped into their current clientele to build a loyal and faithful revenue base. So, I'm going to talk now about how to do that. Because the reality is, there are wrong ways to build memberships. So, think about this. What's in it for me? Many of you are asking this. And the reality is recurring passive revenue, not to say that you don't have to do the work, but it's about thinking about how to know that the money's going to hit the bank. And then all you have to do is the work. Hands off management. If you set it up right, it's going to bill every month. It's going to increase your retention, and you're going to have customers who really understand what's in it for them. It's not like those loyalty points where you're like, I don't know what I get, but suddenly you handed me a mini sized shampoo. That's for curly hair. And actually, my hair is curly today, but it's very, 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 very straight. So that is what I love about the memberships. That's what's in it for you. That's what's in it for your customers. But what's really fun is to look at what not to do. So I know that many of you, actually, let's just take a little toll here. How many of you are currently single service providers? Just drop me a thumbs up because you're doing fantastic and you're killing it by being here and building your own business. And then I'd love to see a double thumbs up for any of you who either have employees, work in a setting with multiple providers, have multiple rooms in your business or multiple chairs at your salon. I'd love to kind of get a feel for who's in here, because there's some things to think about here. So I have a near and dear friend who has a fantastic retail business that brought services into her business. She brought one room in and she decided to launch memberships right away. Her brand was already quite established when she did this. And I want to share with you what happened. She had a $100 facial that was called her Quickie. She turned it into a membership. And within 1 month, her one room was 90% booked with memberships that were discounted. So her Quickie membership was $85 and her regular price for the Quickie membership was $100. So do you see where I'm going with this? What she just did was discounted 85% of her business.
Yeah. And then other clients who would be paying full price, they can't get an appointment because she's 90% booked up.
Completely. So productivity is the first metric I want you to look at when considering membership. Do you have available hours to bring in members? Meaning, productivity is the hours that you have in the day that you could be booked versus the hours that you're actually booked. So when you divide that number into your available hours, that's your productivity percentage. And this is a key metric that everyone should be tracking. Whether you have to do it manually or your software does it for you, hopefully your software does it for you, but this is the key metric to look at. Only launch memberships if you have available hours to do so. Now, as a solopreneur, you can still do this, and I'm going to show you how. The second thing is, do not launch a membership if you're not prepared to market it. There is nothing worse than kind of this big, shiny, exciting thing in your mind, but then you never talk about it. And it's just kind of this dud that sits in the background. Maybe you bring on software because you can get that membership platform built into it. And then you're paying, for example, in Mangomint, our memberships are only available on our standard or unlimited plans. The last thing I would want to see is somebody invest in the platform to be able to support you in this and then not use it. So visibility, create in-store marketing. I'm talking every, shelf talker, get on Canva, build something beautiful that shows what your membership is, what the perks are. So when that new client comes in, they're seeing, wow, I should really become a member, because not only am I going to get this thing that I'm getting, the blowout, but now I can get the blowout on a weekly basis, and I can get a deep conditioning once a month that I wouldn't have necessarily done. So create visibility, whether that's mirror stickers, bathroom signs, post it everywhere. Make memberships the thing. So now we're going to dive into that whole key piece about productivity. The key to pricing your memberships is to take a look at your base hourly price. If we'll use the blow dry, for example, if my base hourly is $60 an hour, your base membership hourly price should be $60 an hour. If your facial is $100 right now, your membership facial should be $100. Then what you're going to do, this is simple. I don't even need an infographic, but they're fun, they're pretty, and our designer is fantastic. So when you build your membership, take your current hourly base price, make that the membership hourly price, and then pop yourself a price increase for non-members of 5 to 20%. Is that tracking with everyone?
Totally,
Any questions
that
on that?
totally makes sense. I this is like a totally new concept. I'm sure like a lot of people that are watching this are like, "Whoa, I never even thought of that." I'm there. I have one question about this. We
Yes.
were talking yesterday with Kirsten about like profits, and she
Mm-hmm.
said the second profit system is raising your prices. Do you think that if someone wants to raise their prices, that they could bundle that into a membership thing, as in like keep their current prices for members and then they wanted to raise their prices anyway, so kind of bundle those
Yes.
two things together?
Absolutely. So, first and foremost, again, personal opinion, I am a huge proponent of every single year. And again, many like coaches in the industry would disagree with me, but I am a proponent of no matter what your productivity is, like even if you are sitting below 60% productivity, you should raise your prices once a year, 3 to 5%, no questions asked. It's just what you do. So, give me a hand clap if that's you too. I hope it becomes you.
Yeah.
So that's number one. Number two is when you're restructuring all of you are here to not keep your business the way it was. So if you don't walk away from this week without like a scroll, what are those, like the rolling scroll? It's like the scroll just rolls out, and those are all the things that you're changing after this week. If you don't walk away from this week with a complete scroll of things you need to do, then we're doing it wrong. So yes, we all want to have that annual price increase 100%. But number two is, this is a fantastic way to essentially raise your prices, but still make that previous price available. So for those customers who have already been coming to you, there's nothing that makes my skin a little bit more crawly than when somebody says, oh yeah, I'm transitioning and this is my new pricing, but I'm grandfathering in all of these 150 clients. And I'm like, well, what's the point in raising your price then? Like to me, it's a hard no for me, dog. Like there must be a price increase, and there must be a price increase when you create this new structure.
Yeah.
You all know the time it's taking you to spend in this meeting today. You are putting work into creating something. So absolutely, this is the perfect time to restructure. Price increase here. And then when somebody comes to you and says, oh, well, I've been with you for so long, you can say, absolutely, we can keep you at this rate. All you have to do is become a member. What you're going to love
Yes.
about it is you're also going to get XYZ benefits.
Yeah, I love that. So, I mean, I'm just thinking creatively here. Like, one thing that you could do is, send an email to your clients, announce this exciting membership, and, tell them that if you, join this membership for a year, for example, you can
Yep.
have this price for your monthly facial, for example, and this is a price that is not going to be available in any other way because I'm raising my prices, for example. So that could be like
Absolutely.
one more bonus for them to join your membership of like, if you join my membership within the next month, you lock in a year of these
Yes.
amazing prices because I am raising my prices and you won't be able to get this price unless you join the membership.
Yep. Curie, that's it. That's the way to do it. So you roll it all in, you make it simple, you give the information, and then there it is. So that's memberships in a nutshell. One of the things that I want to touch on is some of the challenges that are going to come up before we jump into your questions and get this to be a little bit more interactive. So, right away, I'd love for all of you to start like, where's your head going right now? Like, what are you thinking? What do you want to change? What do you want to bring in? I'd love to just see where that's going.
Yeah.
And the final thing that I would just share in membership specifically is when we look at memberships, we really need to make it easy on ourselves. So, yeah, we can share this. This is a quick snapshot of the Mangomint membership platform. This is actually what it looks like in our software. You're all welcome to start a free trial. The memberships are in there and you can check them out. Now, Mangomint is not the best fit for a single service provider, and that's mainly due to our pricing. However, I encourage you to find a way, whether that's Mangomint, whether that's Gloss Genius for single service providers, to find something that supports you in being able to just set it and forget it. Because I don't want you to walk away from today going and trying to build memberships and then having to manually go in and charge somebody once a month. That is what I don't want you to walk away from today to do. But what I do want you to know is that I am here and beyond to support you with any questions you have. And I'd be more than happy to walk you through how Mangomint builds memberships and supports you with that, or give you a referral, like I mentioned, if we're just a little bit outside of the budget. We do have a fantastic giveaway for all of the attendees today. So I know, Stephanie, you've shared that. But with that said, I'd love to dive into your specific questions, what services you think you want to build into a membership, what concerns you have with recurring revenue. So let's dive into
Yeah.
those.
Okay.